Hey everybody, it's spoiler season for War of the Spark, so obligatory, I'm going to have to make videos about it. But I'm actually really excited about these spoilers because War of the Spark, as everybody knows, is said to include 36 Planeswalkers in it. And there was speculation about how they were going to do it, and it's basically been confirmed now there's going to be uncommon, rare, and mythic planeswalkers, and basically the power of them has been reduced when they're down in like rare or are uncommon. And how Wizards did this is basically with when it's an uncommon, it only has one loyalty ability. When it's a rare, it has two loyalty abilities. And when it's a mythic, it's a normal planeswalker with 3 and or 4. But something else that's interesting, I find, about the Planeswalkers this time is they act more like enchantments, especially when they're the rare or the uncommon types. And I'm actually really excited about this. Enchantments are my favorite type of card, and basically to have enchantments with extra abilities as Planeswalkers, I find to be really cool. So I'm going to be talking about some of these cards today. Well, actually, I'm going to talk about all the ones that are available here on MTG Salvation, which is the website I use for all my spoilers. I'm going to start with the Planeswalkers. I'm going to start with the Uncommons, then the Rares, then the Mythics, and I will talk about the other cards after that. Okay, first off, we're going to start with one of my favorite Planeswalkers, Lore, which I kind of see him as the underdog character, and that's kind of why I like him. And it is Tibalt, Rakish Instigator for 2 and a red, and this is an uncommon Planeswalker. So as you can see on screen, it only has 1 loyalty ability with 5 loyalty. So basically, it seems like if you can't get his loyalty up by other means, you can only use this ability 3 times at most. But as you can see, like I said, they act more like enchantments because it has a static ability too. Your opponents can't gain life, which is already an improvement from the original Tibalt from Avacyn Restored. And its -2 is create a 1/1 red devil creature token with when this creature dies, deals 1 damage to any target. So I can see some Rakdos synergy with Tibalt here. I think in lore he actually is going to be kind of aligning himself with the Rakdos cult, which kind of fits for him. He likes to torture people for fun. They like putting on shows where they torture people. So I really like this new Tibalt. I don't think he's game breaking. He's not going to, be causing any blowouts, but he has a pretty decent ability for 3 mana, and he has that static, almost enchantment-like ability where opponents can't get life. So I already like the new way of these uncommon Planeswalkers, and I kind of hope that we see it in the future as well. On to the next one. And our next uncommon Planeswalker is Vraska Swarm's Eminence for 2 hybrid Golgari. 2 hybrid Golgari mana, and then hybrid Golgari mana again. It's an uncommon, which actually kind of surprises me because I expected Vraska to be at least a rare in the set because I felt like she was going to have a big presence. However, she did just have a new card made last set, so I guess it makes sense. Her static ability is whenever a creature you control with Death Touch deals damage to a player or planeswalker, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature. That's pretty good. I actually like that ability. It goes with who she is, and it fits her basic, I don't want to say lore, her tone, or just how she usually is. Her -2 ability, she has 5 loyalty, just like Tibalt had. Create a 1/1 black assassin creature token with Death Touch, and whenever this creature deals damage to a planeswalker, destroy that planeswalker. That's going to be great. I can see Vraska. I can see this card being good, not only in this set, or particularly in the limited format. I think this card is going to do really good in limited, but I could maybe see this doing really well in Modern, and possibly even Legacy. Maybe it's a little slow for Legacy, but I could definitely see it being played in Modern, especially against Super Friends decks. And I like this card. I think it's going to do really well. I think it even might have a little too much power for an uncommon, but we will see how it does. Stuff in the uncommons. Arwen, Voice of the Pack, 4 green. She's an uncommon Planeswalker. She has 7 loyalty instead of the 5 the other one we talked about. And it looks like she's going to be a Wolf tribal Planeswalker, which I'm not too impressed with for this set. I can't see there being too much Wolf and Werewolf synergy or tribal in this deck. Or not this deck, in this set as a whole, but I could be surprised. But she does create, so basically she creates a 2/2 wolf creature token. That's her -2, but her static ability is each creature you control that's a wolf or werewolf enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. So basically she's creating 3/3s when she puts them out, which that is pretty good. I don't think it's good enough for her overall cost though, but again, I could be surprised. In Limited, I could see this being very, very powerful if you can just ramp up to it. And there's another card we're going to talk about later that's definitely going to help with that. But I'm just not too impressed with this card. I was really hoping for a flip card when it came to Arlen, Voice of the Pack, because again, she's a werewolf planeswalker. She's the only werewolf planeswalker, and I think that deserves a flip. I would have liked to see her at Rare, maybe even Mythic, but I digress, and we're going to have to move on to the next card. Next up is Ob Nixilis the Hate Twisted, 3 black. I don't know nothing about Ob Nixilis in the lore, I just know he exists, and he's like the only demon planeswalker. Alright, let's start with his static ability. Whenever an opponent draws a card, Ob Nixilis the Hate Twisted deals 1 damage to that player. Destroy target creature, its controller draws 2 cards. Ooh, I like this. This card's mean, and I like it. I wish this would have been rare and had a second ability, or at least more loyalty counters, but that is a pretty sick ability. You have this on the field, and if they can't destroy it, they got to be careful what creatures they have on the field. They may get to draw 2 cards, so they're getting card advantage, but you're also pinging them for each card they draw. So you could be whittling them down pretty hard. So not only do you destroy the creature, you're also dealing 2 damage. That's pretty sick. For 5 mana, I can get behind this card. I love this Ob Nixilis, and this is going to be one of the cards that's sought after. I can already tell. This is nice removal. I mean, at sorcery speed, it's not so good, but compared to like an instant kill spell. But at sorcery speed, you do get to kill something, and that is pretty OP. And you get to ping them for 2. And you just have a major board threat on something that has to be dealt with. Because he can kill, I think, up to 3 creatures just off just his basic loyalty. And that concludes the uncommons currently available. There's probably going to be more as time progresses, but that's all that's available right now. We're going to move on to the rares, and starting out is a card that actually surprised me only being at rare, and that is Jace. You know, Jace, who was the face of Magic for the longest time. It's Jace, Wielder of Mysteries for 1 blue. Oh, getting into that triple blue action there. Woof! If you would draw a card while your library has no cards in it, you win the game instead of losing. Wow! So I could see this going with Dimir or just self-mill just off the bat. Let's see. It has a +1. Target player puts the top 2 cards of their library into the graveyard. Draw a card. So you can target yourself and try to basically win. -8, draw 7 cards, then if your library has no cards in it, you win the game. I like this a lot. I don't really see what it can go into that's currently in like the standard meta, but I can tell that this will be great in EDH in particular. EDH, and maybe I can see some modern or legacy shenanigans with it. Self-mill is just a little weird, but I can if this was in black and green, I could see this card just being OP in every type of dredge kind of strategy. I personally am going to love trying to find this card because this card is perfect for my Niv Mizzet Perun EDH deck where I'm just drawing constantly. I cannot wait to get my hands on this card. Now, this is the card I'm going to be looking forward to the most so far. Now, here's the only other rare Planeswalker we have right now. It is Ajani, everyone's favorite cat person. Ajani, the Great-Hearted. For 2 and then Selesnya colors. Has 5 loyalty. Creatures you control have vigilance. We've been seeing a lot of vigilance lately with Selesnya. Oh, and if you look at the art, if you just take a moment to look at the art, you can see Selesnya characters in the back, and that's pretty cool. His +1 is you gain 3 life, and his -2 is put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control, and a loyalty counter on each other planeswalker you control. Ooh, we got Super Friends, 5-color Super Friends. This is going to be in Modern. This is just wow. Just that ability alone, putting counters on each other planeswalker you control, that is ridiculous. I see a bump in Modern Super Friends now, and maybe even EDH Super Friends. Oh god. That's gonna... No wonder his other 2 abilities kind of suck. Wow. That's gonna be broken. That I can tell that's just gonna be broken. You're gonna see this everywhere in other formats. I mean, we might see it in Limited for a little while, and we might see it in Standard for a little while, but I'm telling you where this is going to shine, and excuse the noise in the background, my cat's being a little crackhead right now. He's going to shine in Modern. I can, just calling it now, Ajani the Great-Hearted is going to shine in Modern. Now, here is a card I'm actually surprised to see. This is our first Mythic, and it is Tezzeret, Master of the Bridge, for 4 in the Dimir colors. I did not expect to see Tezzeret because I don't believe he was in the stained glass windows from the original teaser. So it's actually a surprise to see him. And I like that even the Mythics still have this static ability at the top like an enchantment does. I really hope that's a thing that they're going to do in the future for more Planeswalkers because I actually really like it. Now, as I said, the Mythics have basically normal Planeswalkers where they have 3 abilities, a plus, a minus, and a minus. He starts off with 5. Let's look at his +2. Wow, +2. Tezzeret, Master of Bridges, deals X damage to each opponent, where X is the number of artifacts you control. You gain X life. Oh, and for those of you who don't know, I actually had to Google this because I wasn't around for Mirrodin Block. Affinity means like the cards cost less for each of a certain type of card you have out. So basically, I think how it works, I might be wrong, I think how it works is, let's say you try to play a creature and you have 2 artifacts on the field. It costs 2 less, is how this affinity would work. And the same with Planeswalkers, which that's kind of broken. So let's continue. Let me reread his +2 because I went off on a tangent there. Tezzeret, Master of the Bridge, deals X damage to each opponent, where X is the number of artifacts you control. You gain X life. That's pretty good. I like that. I can get behind that. That's a pretty solid +2. Now, -3. Return target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. That's pretty good. Not game breaking, but pretty good. -8. Exile the top 10 cards of your library. Put all artifact cards from among them onto the battlefield. Oh my goodness. Ooh, that's good. That's good. I don't know how it's going to be in this set. Again, a lot of these have kind of like a tribalistic synergy, and I don't know how tribal-like cards are going to work in this set because it just seems like it's going to be a very flooded set with the Planeswalkers, and I just don't see how that's going to be working real well with this set. I mean, I could be wrong. I just don't think that these cards that are having more of a tribalistic energy or feel to them aren't going to be really good in this Limited or Standard. I could see them doing really well in other types of formats like EDH or Modern. Especially Tezzeret here. Artifacts do really well in both EDH and Modern, so let's see how that works. Now the card I saved best for last. This card is going to be an instant include in my Arena deck and in my Standard deck IRL, and that is Liliana, Dreadhorde General for 4 black, Mythic. Her static ability is whenever a creature you control dies, draw a card. I already love it. I love it. I'm going to take it. +1, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token, so already protects itself. That is beautiful. And I love the art, by the way. Just look at that art with her and just glowing purple and all the Eternals behind her. That is just beautiful. That is magnificent. -4, each player sacrifices 2 creatures. That's going to do really well pairing off with Orzhov and possibly even Rakdos type abilities. So it's got 3 pluses in my book. And -9, each opponent chooses a permanent they control of each permanent type and sacrifices the rest. So board wipe. Wow. This card's broken. This card, I can see it already. It's going to be $50 plus when it first gets sold. I could even see this card going into the $100 range. This is the Mythic card to look out for. This is one of the best Lilianas ever printed. I dare say this card is on par with Liliana of the Veil. Fight me. So, recording this, finding time to record this has been taking a little bit longer than I thought. So, more and more spoilers have been coming out daily at this point. So, we're just gonna cut off here and call this part 1 of Planeswalker spoilers. I'm going to focus solely on the Planeswalkers first, unless I see a card that really jumps out at me. But for now, we're just going to call it here. This is the end of part 1 of War of the Spark spoilers, Planeswalker edition. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Please subscribe, hit me up on social media. I am working on possibly making a Discord server and starting streaming if I find time. My leg is healing up, so I'm actually going to have to start returning to work here, probably starting next week, which means I'll have less time to record, but I'm going to try to find time, make time to do it, at least uploading a video once a week or at least every 2 weeks, as I have been, and maybe finding a night to stream. If I had to guess, probably Saturday nights or even Monday or Tuesday nights are going to be the best days for me to stream. I'm sorry, not Tuesday nights. I work Tuesday nights. I meant Thursday nights. So Thursdays and Saturdays are probably going to be the best days for me to stream at nighttime. I'll probably be streaming a lot of MTGArena, and I've been getting back into League of Legends as of late. So if you're interested in watching that, yeah, let me know. Hit me up on Patreon, Twitter, and have a wonderful day.